Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
How long should they have to wait to get access to their own records? It's been 2 months since the data hack at Central Med, and patients are still calling KSAT for help. The clinic says someone got into its patient records in late April, putting the personal information of some 400,000 current and former patients at risk. But as patients tell the Night Team's John Paul Barajas, they are still struggling to get everything from their records to referrals.
I expressed my need for the referral, that I needed it to see my cardiologist.
It's a need that Michael Fraunfelter says is yet to be fulfilled. He's one of several Central Med patients we've heard from since the clinic's servers were hacked on April 30th. Their complaints have included difficulty scheduling appointments, getting referrals.
Because I don't know what this is going to mean for me, right? If I don't see my cardiologist, it might be bad. I might be okay. I just don't know.
Not having access to medical records.
We don't have that. You're going to be coming in as a new information, as a new patient. And I said, a new patient, but I've been coming here since 2021.
As well as trouble filling necessary prescriptions.
My wife tried to call to get a couple scripts refilled. She couldn't.
Give me a referral for my prescriptions because my blood pressure is high, and it's been high since February. And I don't want to have an episode where I'm back in the hospital or I'm with my kids and something happens to me, all because y'all can't get y'all together.
I spoke to a Central Med Vice President on May 24th. At the time, Ana Maria Garza Cortez said her staff hoped to regain access to their files the following week.
There's different steps that are happening to make sure that this incident doesn't happen again at Central Med.
Given that you... Now, we are still trying to get answers, and I have emailed Central Med 9 times since that May 24th report. I also called their office, including today.
You have reached the office of Ana Maria Garza Cortez. Please leave a message. Thank you.
We still want to know where things stand. I have not heard back from Central Med since June 12th, when leadership said they, quote, stood behind their initial statement, a data security update that was posted on May 17th, which is still on the top of their website. It refers patients to a toll-free call center. That number is 888-990-8424. But for the patients we spoke to, that's just not good enough.
No one seems to care. It's sort of like there's a disconnect.
So I've started reaching out to our city and county leaders. A spokesperson for the city of San Antonio says because the city does not manage Central Med, they had no comment. I'm still waiting to hear back from each Bexar County commissioner, but a county spokesperson said because no one had complained to the commissioner's court, they did not have a comment either. I've also checked in with U.S. Representative Joaquin Castro's office. He helped secure $4.6 million in federal funding back in February to, quote, help San Antonio's Central Med network provide high-quality, compassionate health care, end quote. Steve, I have not heard back from their office either.
So you've called Central Med 9 times. You've called all of our elected officials, including one that just got a huge amount of money sent to Central Med, and nobody is making a comment on what these patients are going through.
$4.6 million secured by Castro in February. A few months later, this data breach happens, and now we're 2 months, going on 2 months, maybe more, with people still struggling to get, one, information about what's going on, but two, healthcare access.
We're talking prescriptions, cardiologist referrals. I mean, these are not light things these people are going through.
Some of these things are very urgent.
We're going to keep following it. All right. Thank you, John Paul. Appreciate it. Now to a scary and sweaty situation that could have been a lot worse. A local woman being credited for saving 3 small children who were left alone in a hot car. It happened on Friday afternoon in a parking lot at 281 in Thousand Oaks. Our Katrina Weber caught up with that woman today, and she asked us to please hide her face, so we did.
He was sweating profusely. The little girl, to me, she looked like she was in shock. I'm just glad that I was there at the right time. I feel like it was God sent.
That woman called police after she noticed the kids in the car. She and others were able to get them out through an unlocked door. The kids, who are between 1 and 4 months old, were not seriously hurt. That woman did the right thing. Their mother, 33-year-old Angela Garza Amador, that woman right there, arrested when she returned to the car, and she is now facing charges. Now, after that news of the scary scene, San Antonio police, along with Metro Health, hoping to bring the dangers home to people. They held a hot car temperature demonstration today to explain what can happen when a child is stuck in a car and what you should do if you run into a similar situation.
And eventually what will probably happen is heat stroke. And with that, it's just your body temperature just gets so high that your internal organs stop to function, right? So your heart rate's going to go up, your kidneys could fail, you could be unconscious, and then eventually it could lead to death.
Call 911 right away, but see if the doors are unlocked, see if you can open the door. If you have to take further action, go ahead and do so. Like I said, we have laws in place that are going to protect you.
Yeah, further action like knocking a window out to unlock one of those doors. And you can watch the full story right now on all of our KSAT streaming platforms. The former site of the First Baptist Church in Sutherland Springs, that white building there, set to be demolished. It was the scene of a horrific mass shooting that happened nearly 7 years ago and had been set up as a memorial to those who were lost. In November of 2017, a gunman entered that building and killed 26 people during a Sunday service. While we don't know exactly what day the demolition will happen, church members were told today and tomorrow that sanctuary would be open for final visits. If you're wondering how survivors feel about the building, well, I texted one of them today. He wrote me back that, quote, "I hope and pray it gets torn down ASAP," end quote. We've reached out to church leadership for more information about when that demolition might happen. We have not heard back yet. Questions tonight after a man's body found along Highway 281 with multiple gunshot wounds. San Antonio police say a passerby made that discovery this afternoon along the southbound lanes of 281 between Bassey Road and Hildebrand Avenue. As a matter of fact, you might notice the exit to the zoo in Brackenridge Park not far away from where this body was found. Officers tell us several bullet shell casings were next to the man's body. Right now, SAPD is investigating this as a homicide. We'll bring you more information on air and online as we work to find out exactly what happened here. An arrest has been made in connection to the suspicious death of a woman in Shirts. A 61-year-old man, Aaron DeClauette, was taken into custody on Friday after 42-year-old Lisa Sipes was found dead in her apartment in May of last year. The suspect facing charges of tampering or fabricating evidence. He was taken to the Guadalupe County Jail. We'll have to wait at least one more day to learn the fates of this man, 20-year-old Celadino Saldana. He was convicted last week for shooting at San Antonio police officers. Today, the jury sent home without a verdict during the punishment phase of his trial. Saldana fired shots at officers back in 2022. The officers returned fire and hit him. He's now paralyzed from the waist down. Jurors heard from his family as they consider his fate.
That he regrets it. He wishes that had never happened. He is very sorry that the officer believes and you believe that he was shooting at him when he was not shooting at him.
Deliberations will resume tomorrow morning. He faces 5 to 99 years or life in prison. A new man now at the helm of the city's Animal Care Services Department. Michael Shannon, officially named interim director today. He takes over while the search continues for a permanent director. Michael Shannon will step into the interim director's role on July 15th. The Texas A&M University system will soon say goodbye to its longtime chancellor, John Sharp, set to retire in June of 2025. Sharp made that announcement in a letter to the Board of Regents today. He also thanked the board for the role he's held since 2011. He's the longest-serving chancellor of the Texas A&M system.
This nation was founded on the principle that there are no kings in America.
President Joe Biden sounding off tonight following today's Supreme Court ruling on presidential immunity. Today, the High Court ruled presidents do have absolute immunity from official acts, but can be held criminally responsible for acts done out of personal gain, even if they are carried out while a president is in office. It's an important step many were waiting for as former President Donald Trump faces a number of legal challenges ahead of the 2024 presidential race. President Joe Biden disagreeing with the court's ruling today, while former President Trump sees this as a win.
Each of us is equal before the law. No one is above the law, not even the President of the United States.
A president has to have immunity. If you don't have immunity, you just have a ceremonial president.
So what happens next? Well, the Supreme Court says a lower court must now decide which of the alleged acts the former President Trump can claim immunity from. So there's a lot of court hearings still to come. Have you already made your plans for Independence Day? Well, luckily, there's a full slate of ways to celebrate the 4th right here in San Antonio. Some of those events include a drone show, live music. Of course, it wouldn't be a party in San Antonio without river parades. Right now on KSAT.com, you can read the full list of 4th of July activities planned all week long. The article on our homepage looks just like this. The studies show your kids can lose about 20% of their reading skills if they don't read during the summer. Next on the Nightbeat, we're going to tell you about a local program that can help with that. And one of the places you may visit over the summer is Six Flags Fiesta Texas, but will it look any different now that it's merged with another theme park company? We're going to tell you what you can expect at that park.
And we have now Category 5 Hurricane Burl marching its way through the Caribbean. It's headed toward the Yucatan Peninsula, thereafter the Gulf of Mexico. Full update in just a bit.
Avoiding the summer slide. One group on the west side wants to help make sure your kids don't lose all the progress they made in school while they're on summer vacation. That's where Camp Good Sam at Good Samaritan Community Services comes in. It's a summer program that gets kids to read while they're having fun. You can read more about it right now on KSAT.com. It's a done deal. Six Flags says it has merged with the theme park operator Cedar Fair. It's been in the works for months. We first told you about it back in November. So what does this mean? Well, take a look at the map. These are all of the theme parks and water parks owned by what is now Six Flags Entertainment Corporation. 30 properties in all, mostly across the U.S., some locations in Canada and Mexico. Of those five of them are here in Texas, including Six Flags Fiesta Texas and Schlitterbahn. According to a press release, there are no plans to change any of the park's names or branding. The new Six Flags will begin trading tomorrow on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol FUN. The company will be headquartered in Charlotte, North Carolina. We emailed staff at Fiesta Texas and Schlitterbahn tonight to ask about any potential updates for season pass holders. Both of those parks say they do not expect to make any changes to their season pass, rewards, or loyalty programs in 2024. It is a sad sight for anyone who stopped there on a Texas road trip. This is video of what's left of the original Bucky's in Luling. The building went up in flames earlier today. More than a dozen fire departments responded to the scene this morning about 10. According to one official with the Luling Volunteer Fire Department, it took about 2 hours to put out those flames. We're told crews were moving old beams in the building. One of those beams hit something that sparked the fire. The original store built in 2003. Last month, Bucky's opened a new store right next to this property. Hurricane Burl is approaching, and we're getting a good look at some stunning images from NASA. These are pictures from an astronauts as they flew right over the top of the storm. Pretty cool. Adam, should we be concerned about Burl here in San Antonio?
I don't think concerned. I don't think we should be concerned, mainly just hopeful for some rain from leftovers of Burl. It is likely to weaken as it treks westward. Let's take a look at our satellite imagery that we have here. Not exactly the same vantage point as the astronauts, but you look at it and you see it just past the Windward Islands. It's in the Caribbean right now, headed west, and it has been upgraded currently, to a Category 5 hurricane. Max sustained winds at 160 miles per hour. This is moving pretty quickly for a hurricane, 22 miles per hour to the west-northwest. So it's a 5 right now, but likely to encounter some wind shear aloft as it treks westward, and that would likely weaken it gradually as it heads toward the Yucatan Peninsula. We're talking by Friday morning time frame, making its way into the Yucatan, most likely as a Category 1 hurricane. The big question is, once it gets into the Gulf of Mexico, where does it go thereafter? Right now, it's likely to be a tropical storm in the Gulf of Mexico on Saturday. Now, here's the steering flow. Here's what's pushing it along. Currently, we have the trade winds pushing it in that east to west direction through the Caribbean, but the wild card is the Big Blue H, the upper level high, currently over East Texas. That's going to slide eastward in the days ahead. And due to that clockwise circulation around it, that's going to be the biggest factor in steering Burl in the days ahead. And a lot depends on exactly where that upper level high sets up. If it goes a little farther to the east than model guidance is suggesting right now, it would have a higher likelihood of taking Beryl, or at least its remnants, into the Texas coast and parts of Texas. So there is the chance we could get some rain from this. Luckily, as of now, it's expected to be a tropical storm in the Gulf. But as we've seen before, these systems can re-strengthen quickly in the unusually warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico off the Texas coastline. Now, the spaghetti plots. I showed them this weekend, showed them earlier today. We got a new model run this evening, folks. Look at this. An even bigger spread of solutions. And the trend is actually a little farther to the north. So it's a complete flip-flop we've seen in the model guidance with this latest run that just came in really minutes ago. It just came in. So this is something we'll watch. And obviously the possibilities are anywhere from eastern Mexico to the Texas coast, maybe even a little closer to Louisiana. It's still way too early to tell. Our rain chances at 20% on Saturday. That's from basically just pop-up showers possible. Sunday, Monday, it could be the remnants of Beryl, or even if it's a tropical storm heading toward us, the chances really hinge on us getting some moisture from that system. So we'll, of course, be updating those rain chances as we get more info. Did you notice that haze in the sky today? It was thick. You could just barely see downtown from our city cam. That's the African dust, my friends. It is back, and today it was really the thickest that we've seen it so far this summer. It comes every year, but today it was the most noticeable. It really isn't impacting air quality at all. It's really just extra haze and more vibrant sunrises and sunsets. Now, I do think it's going to thin out a little bit in the coming days, and then by this weekend, Friday into Saturday, we'll get another thick plume that'll be very noticeable of that haze. 99 our high today. Hey, we didn't hit 100. Guess we could call that a bit of good news. Tomorrow we'll be at 100, 78 in the morning, 91 at noon, triple digits for the high temperature. And I think most of our area, South Central Texas, will be hitting 100 and stay near it basically the rest of this work week. And here's a live look outside with live cam. In the evening, you don't see the dust as much. It's mainly just during the day off on the horizon. You just have that extra haze in the sky. By the way, we're trimming off a few degrees Sunday into Monday, mid-90s, Steve.
All right. Well, I feel better already.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Does that make you happy?
Get out the sweaters. All right. Will the host country survive in Copa America, Mary?
The action just wrapped up. I'm not kidding you. Minutes ago.
Okay.
Unfortunately, U.S. doesn't advance. Panama scores too many goals tonight, and Uruguay wins. So, United States early exit from the Copa America tournament. Plus, the Spurs make a big splash on day one of free agency, and plenty more going on today. Coming up right after the break. The U.S. men's national team's fate's in the hands of another team tonight. U.S. facing Uruguay while needing to outperform Panama tonight to advance to the knockout round of the Copa America tournament. Plenty of physicality between the U.S. and Uruguay. In the 68th minute, Uruguay would break through. Now, this goal would be reviewed for offsides, but after review, the goal still stands, and the home crowd just not happy with the officiating tonight from start to finish. With 3 shots, the U.S. falls 1-0, a sobering reality, the host nation out of the tournament. The NBA free agency period opened at 5 o'clock on Sunday, and after the Warriors waived Chris Paul, the San Antonio Spurs quickly made their move on the future Hall of Fame point guard. Entering year 20, Paul and the Spurs agreed to a 1-year deal worth over $11 million, according to multiple reports. Though Paul is past his all-star form, his proficiency as a playmaker and floor general will go far in the process of developing the young Spurs roster. Now, another big free agency splash coming today. One of the Splash Brothers is joining the Dallas Mavericks. It's the end of an era for Klay Thompson and the Golden State Warriors. 4 NBA championships later, Thompson agreed to join Dallas on a 3-year, $50 million contract as part of a multi-team sign-and trade that'll also send Josh Green to Charlotte. Now, last week, a whole new generation of stars hit the NBA, and the Spurs 2024 Summer League roster will feature 2 of San Antonio's draft selections. 4th overall pick Stephon Castle and Harrison Ingram. Also hitting the hardwood, 2023 draft pick CD Sissoko. 2-way players David Duke Jr., Jamari Bouye, Raekwon Gray, also Jameer Nelson Jr. and Tyrese Radford. Lots to look forward to. The full roster is on our website, to be sure to check it out. The action begins in Sacramento on Saturday. For the first time since 1957, football is coming back to Schreiner University. The Division III startup named Kenny Trishita, the head coach, to help get the program off the ground and running, welcoming him with a symbolic maroon jacket. Trishita previously was the defensive coordinator at New England University for 5 seasons. In 2015, the Mountaineers will play a junior varsity season, then will join the SCAC in 2026. Now, this multi-million-dollar quest is going to be a significant boost for the Hill Country football scene.
It's really important to serve the Hill Country, to serve the Hill Country population. It's part of Schreiner's mission. It'll be part of the mission of our football program. The Schreiner brand is strong in the Hill Country. So our football program opens new lanes and new avenues for football players in the Hill Country who want to come to Schreiner. The fact that we get to start the football program and build is something that's really special and something that's our players are going to take an active role in and responsibility.
Trishita added he plans to build the program's culture on character, discipline, and hard work.
The San Antonio Warriors 2024 BSFL champions. The trophy's going home to San Antonio.
An emotional triumph for San Antonio's own semi-pro football team. The Warriors dedicated their season to their late head coach and founder Glenn White, who passed away in January. And in quintuple overtime, San Antonio defeated the Red Raiders 20-18 to capture the BSFL football state championship.
Coach starts to look good. Bam just swung it away. Body shot. Puts Ohio down in a heap.
210 Bam is a rising star in boxing, and with every win, he shines even more. Saturday night, San Antonio's very own Jesse Bam Rodriguez knocked out Juan Francisco Estrada to win the WBC Junior Bantamweight title. Huge congratulations to Bam. All right, Texas says goodbye to the Big 12 and hello to the SEC right after the break. This was the scene over the weekend in Austin when Texas and Oklahoma said goodbye to the Big 12 and officially made their 3 years in the making switch to the SEC. Between the Sooners and Longhorns, they leave the Big 12 with a lot of hardware. And to continue that success, well, the SEC will pose great challenges.
It's going great. Everybody's been real receptive. This has really been my first time out of the office, to be honest with you. So it's nice to get some fresh air. And then when you come to Austin and you play at Dish Falk and then you go to your hotel, you really only see the city. So this is awesome to see it's such a beautiful campus and be at the tower and be here on such a historic day.
I think the fanfare in the SEC for our fans is going to be something that they're going to enjoy. Very passionate fan bases. They're going to travel really well when they have to play us here. They might be hospitable. They might not be when we have to go there.
Exciting times. All right, we'll be right back after the break.
That's it for the Nightbeat. We'll see you again tomorrow.